3 of our series on Mstep practice. Swabat!
Swabat!
Students will be able to pass the Mstep. So that is our goal. We've worked on part 1, and just as a quick review, here's what we did on part 1. We read and went ahead and we wrote down the main ideas of everything. We answered this question about the source and the details. We found which topic was found in both sources. And then with Miss Logan, you went ahead and did the one about which source told about how Juliet felt about starting the Girl Scouts. Today we're going to flip to the side that says directions for part 2. So go ahead and flip to that side. Directions for part 2.
We're going to do several paragraphs today.
We're doing something a little different. Okay. So here's what it says. Please have your reading finger ready and please follow along. Okay? You'll now look at your sources. Oh my gosh. Look at your sources. Take notes. Plan. Draft. Revise. And edit your article. Oh my gosh. I'm going to take my pen or my crayon. Everybody do this with me. Take notes. Plan. Draft. Revise. And edit your article. Okay, who could tell me something where we started off this year and we used these kinds of things? Okay, and then we wrote it in a graphic organizer, and then we wrote it all the way down, and then we illustrated. What is that? What have we been doing?
We've been doing the main idea.
We've been doing the main idea, but we've been making something. We've been working on it for a whole month. What have we been doing, Priscilla?
Our story,
our chapter books. So right now, what phase are we in? When you look at these, of planning, drafting, revising, and editing. What phase are we moving into right now, Alex?
editing.
Editing. And so Miss Logan, Mrs. Campbell, and I will spend the whole morning using editing marks like this, like this, like this. Does anybody remember what this means? This little guy? What does it mean, Alex?
Take
it away. Okay, does anyone know what this little squirrely guy means? Jayla?
Paragraph.
New paragraph. Does anyone know what ST means? George?
Space.
No. Mason? Spelling. So we're going to use all of these to do our own article. So, oh my gosh, you've done this process with the help of Miss Logan and I. But now you're going to do this with the Mstep. All, look at me, track me, watch my notes. Who knows what I just said? Raise your hand. Okay, go ahead, say it out. You're going to do it.
All by yourself.
All by yourself without the teachers helping. What might be challenging about this, Mrs. Campbell?
Honestly, I don't.
What do you think would be challenging about this, Miss Logan?
About editing it yourself?
Like doing it all by themselves. What could you see would be a challenge for them?
Punctuation.
Well, if you write it, you might not notice that you're making mistakes. So if you can really go back and edit, you should really pay attention. Really focus.
So watch me really carefully, because Miss Logan and I are going to take turns. Okay, Miss Logan, come up here and read the next part.
Your assignment. Your class is writing about people who have helped kids in some way. Each person has been assigned to write about a person they find interesting. Your assignment is to write an informational article that is several paragraphs long that explains why Juliet Gordon Lowe formed the Girl Scouts. The article will be read by the students in your class, parents, and your teacher. Make sure to have the main idea, clearly organize your article, and support your main idea with details.
Oh, Miss Logan, would you like the marker?
Yes.
Do you see? Oh, I think Miss Logan's getting ready. Watch her. Here she goes. She's getting ready. She's going to underline something important. What do you think, Miss Logan?
This part. Support your main idea with detail.
Main idea needs detail. Okay.
From the sources, using your own words. This is another one, your own words.
Oh gosh, underline that. Underline that.
Be sure.
Beep, 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 beep. Alert, alert. Oh no. This happened to earlier in the year. Does anyone remember what happened when someone copied an entire prompt that I wrote instead of writing their own words? What happened? Remember when we were writing the essays?
They got a
It was called a P word, and I said it was like a really, really bad thing.
D.
No? Who remembers it? Savannah? It was cheating, but I used a different word. What was
I
it?
know it.
Go.
With the eye.
Plagiarism.
Yes.
What's the problem with this slogan?
Because if you just write it word for word, it's not your own idea. It's not your own thoughts. So you have to have it in your own words. So
Mrs.
it's
Campbell, is
different.
that hard sometimes?
Sometimes it is.
Yup. Sometimes that's really hard. Keep going, Miss Logan.
Be sure to develop your ideas clearly. So make sure what you're trying to say, reread it, and make sure that if you were to read your paper, you would understand what you were saying. All right.
Okay.
Wait,
So I'm gonna
So it's
underline
got-
informational article.
can we use the main ideas that we use all
Yes, great idea, George. Look at George. He's already thinking. He forgets to raise his hand, but he is a good thinker. George has asked me a question. George said, Mrs. Fonte, our reading strategy that we use all the time is main idea. George, can you draw it? What does it look like? What is it? Everybody this class are able to draw this from Reader's Notebook. What does it look like? Oh, look at him go. A box. Oh, look at him. And then your paragraph. George, fantastic. Except, here's what we're going to do. If you would flip over to the back of your packet, you'll find a blank sheet. A blank sheet. And here's what I want you to do on the blank sheet. We have to write an article. How many paragraphs do you think you're going to go in the article? Savannah?
2.
I want to, the Swabbat you need to pass the Mstep. I don't know about 2. Bashar?
4.
4 is good, but how many do we have to do in our essay of the week? How many?
4.
We need to do at least 3. So we're going to do 3. 1. So here's George's, here's what George drew. I'm just going to draw it myself. I would draw this up at the top of the paper though. So on the back, follow me. So here's what we're going to do. 1, first paragraph. My main idea. Detail, detail, detail. Number 2. Main idea. Detail, detail, detail. Number 3. Main idea. Detail, detail, detail. And since this is our first practice, the only thing we're going to do is just fill out our graphic organizer. Tell me about a paragraph. Get ready. Ready? Get your hands ready. Topic.
Conclusion. Detail, detail, detail.
Just like an Oreo cookie. Do it again. Topic.
Conclusion. Detail, detail, detail.
So even though I did not write a space here for conclusion, we need to remember that the conclusion is always here. Now it's time to figure out what we're going to write in our research article. Here's a hint. Everybody go back and look at those little arrows that you drew next to each paragraph and think about, if I was writing about Juliet Lowe, what kinds of things could I put in my article? Go. Go back. Come on. Look at those little details, those little ones you put around. All right. Look, I got a whole bunch of them.
Adventure.
Oh. Think about it. When you have one, raise your hand. Mrs. Fonte, this would be a great one for this one. Miss Logan, if you go over to the board and you write them down as we go, that would be great. Okay, if you have one and you think this is a perfect idea for our article about Juliet Lowe. Okay, George, what do you got?
I got.
What do you think what would be interesting to write about? She's what?
When she married an English. No.
She married someone?
When she started the Girl Scouts.
Oh, okay, she started the Girl Scouts. Everybody look at both articles. Look at both articles. See if you can find something from both articles. Can you find something from both articles?
Okay. Something in both articles. Okay. Garden house. Okay.
Okay, raise your hand if you know. Yes, I saw it, Mrs. Fonte, I saw it, and give me 2 thumbs started the Girl Scouts. James, when you look at this, do you think we should start off with her starting the Girl Scouts, or do you think that we should end with her starting the Girl Scouts? When you think about when it happened, does the article start off with her starting it, or do they end with her starting it? Look back at your article if you need to. They end. Okay, write that in. Right here, Miss Logan. Right, she started, everybody follow Miss Logan. She started the Girl Scouts. Write that in, Kaden. She started, look at Miss Logan, here she goes. She started the Girl Scouts. Okay, beautiful. Now, before I add details about this, I'm going to go on to my other two. Does anybody have, okay, Alex, an idea? Go ahead.
For she started the Girl Scouts.
No, well, a big idea. Any big ideas?
Oh.
Big ideas about Juliet Lowe. Something else, a big idea. I want to do the big ideas first, then fill in the details.
Oh.
Basic.
Juliet. Was adventurous and athletic as a child.
Okay. Take your finger. Go to your article. Find your text evidence that talks about Mason suggesting adventurous. Do we have sources? Do we have stuff from ours about adventure? Look and see. Do you have something about adventurous?
Yeah.
Adventurous.
It's the third paragraph.
Now, Mason, here's my question though. If I write adventurous here, am I going to have 3 things to say about her being adventurous?
No.
No, I'm just going to have adventurous here. Oh! I think we had a light bulb moment. Mason, say that again. You think that we should write about her as a what?
Child.
That's what I was gonna say. That's what I was
Mason,
gonna say.
if we were going to say write about her as a child, would you put it first or would you put it second? I would put it first. Let's do that, Miss Logan. Juliet as a child.
People Julian was born.
Do we have? Would we have details about that, George? Yes. Okay, Miss Logan. I'm sorry. Is that? Are we good? Okay. So Juliet was born.
Excuse the interruption. At this time, the last group that we're looking for is the Junior Optimist group. To the gym, please. If we have forgotten any group, please call the office and let them know immediately. And thank you for putting up with the interruption.
Okay. So right here, under this little bullet, you know what? Because we're kind of running low on time, I'm going to help you a little bit. Right here under this bullet, put born. We could put when she was born. Under the next bullet, we want to put adventurous as a child. We know she was adventurous as a child. You're writing this in, Robert. Following along, I need to see every pencil busy and moving.
What about when she met Sir Robert?
Ah!
As a child.
George is still struggling with raising his hand, but he is full of good ideas. Let me ask you, George, do you think it should go here that she met
No,
Sir
I'm
Robert?
saying in the next minute idea.
I think that's an excellent idea. Let's write that down here, Miss Logan. When she meets Sir Robert, because that is a big moment for her. It's like her light bulb moment. Like I always say with Miss Lillibridge, she had that light bulb moment. Yes, Alex?
That's when she got her idea for the girls.
Yes! So right here under this bullet, right, she gets her idea. Does she like Sir Robert?
Yes.
Right, she likes Sir Robert.
Wait,
She likes Sir Robert.
there's one more thing about
What
this.
about it?
Sir Robert was the founder of the Boy Scouts.
That's right, that right there. Sir Robert was the founder of the Boy Scouts. And let's just go back and fill in our details really fast. Can anyone look